Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast, where we dive into the wild world of wrestling, the only sport where threatening a child can make you the most beloved face in the business. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of wrestling storylines, analyze jaw-dropping matches, and speculate wildly on who's going to turn heel next. Get ready for a ringside seat to the excitement and absurdity of wrestling with us every week.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 6 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. Hope everyone's had a great week. I'm your main host Mike GWP on Twitter.
I'm Dan, it's Danwell KC on Twitter, and yeah, I am very much looking forward to All In.
I'm Dove GWP on Twitter. Yeah.
I'm Andy. Looking forward to the week. Fuck Twitter.
I'm Wrestling Mark 16 and I'm lactose intolerant.
Nice.
As you can see, we're a little bit light on hosts this week, but hopefully be a bit better. And thankfully, none of us have taken mortgage advice from Eric Bischoff.
That's it. Someone with that experience, you want them to, give you money to buy a house, especially in this climate.
It's fucking mad. I couldn't believe it when I seen that story. Eric Bischoff selling mortgage. And he's not doing it because he needs to, lads. Don't forget, he's doing it because he enjoys selling mortgages, apparently, or something like that.
It's the joy. It's the joy. He gets joy from other people's happiness. As we can all tell from Eric Bischoff, he's definitely a people person, definitely someone that cares about others. You can just tell that's clearly a personality trait that he has to be everyone else first and himself second. So yeah, I completely believe that he sells mortgages on the phone for the love of it.
He gets that from Hulk Hogan, doesn't he? Being that people person, being totally not in it for himself. Yeah, it's that sort of community spirit, doesn't he?
It's all about everyone else. Doesn't matter your race, your religion, your sex, your sexuality. Doesn't matter. He's just a really good person who does things for other people.
Just wants to see people happy. He likes to see people with a smile on their face. He's a fucking prick, isn't he?
You can't spell. Well, you can. I was trying to make a funny joke there about you can't spell prick without Eric, but they do rhyme at least, so that's something.
Did you see his latest fucking bullshit there that he thinks AEW won't do well because they're not on TV in Australia? They are on fucking TV, Eric. You fucking wanker.
In Australia.
Oh. Yeah, they're on fucking ESPN and fucking Fight or Trill or whatever it's called there has got a presence there. But Eric Bischoff thinks they're not on TV, so they won't sell out the show.
Okay.
Eric Bischoff knows the Australia market so well, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he fucking fucking hell. He's a fucking dickhead.
He really is. Like the way he looks, like when I see like clips of him and I hear him talking, the way like last week, I don't know the context, but he was having a go at Orange Cassidy, and I just sat there and just looked at him when he was saying it and thought, "You look like a really frail, bitter old man." And he just like when I watched him say it, the one thing that sprung to mind, I just looked at him and thought, "You're pathetic. You're actually pathetic," and that's the only thing I could think of.
Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah, I don't even think he believes half the shit he says. I think it is like I think I said this last week, but I think it is what Josh Barnett alluded to, which is he just looks for bad takes on Reddit and just decides that that's what's happened.
What half the the same people, there's the same pundits, the same people, perpetrators really. Bully Ray, which by the way, I think you have a request from someone, Andy.
Yeah, we had the questions there on the Discord and Twitter, and one question was just to call Bully Ray a fat cunt. So Bully Ray, you are a fat cunt.
Bully Ray, you are a fat cunt. You heard it from me.
Or also, as I call him in the group chat, Summer Clay Fugly.
Clay Fugly, mate, that is fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm stealing that one.
I think
just started a feud with Busted Open now.
He's done the heel turn now.
Justice for Bubba. He could be fucking crying into his camera again. Oh, Dave LaGreca.
But there'll be a hashtag going soon.
That was from our mate Mose, that in the Discord there. So because it's Mose, I'll call him it again. Bully Ray, you are a fat cunt.
Respect. It's
We
become a
all
weekly
agree with
thing
him,
on
though.
every podcast now. Yeah, we all agree.
I think that's the best question we've ever had, and it's not even a question, but it still is the best question we've ever had. No offense against anyone else's questions, but that was great. Felt nice to get that off my chest.
Respect.
Fuck Mark Henry too as well. Fucking stupid cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Mark Henry.
I think we could have called the episode "Fuck Mark Henry," but I think it's got to be mortgage advice from Eric Bischoff, hasn't it?
Fuck Dave LaGreca as well. We'll get him going and all them fuckers over there.
Oh, you know, fuck busted open.
Yeah,
Dave
fucking.
LaGreca. Yeah, he's a fucking prick as well.
And fuck JD from NY too.
Fuck Raj Giri as well.
It's gonna be the whole
We're all
podcast.
making many
We're just gonna be
friends here,
saying
boys.
fuck random people.
That was the original plan, wasn't it? Just to do a podcast calling everyone a cunt.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Whoever it was
EPW addresses their enemies.
Whoever it was on Twitter today said that Tony's just throwing things at the pay-per-view late as usual. You're a cunt as well because you're talking shite.
And that dickhead who kept getting himself wound up arguing with Dav. You're a fucking dickhead as well.
Yeah, you're banned.
Fuck
And
it.
you're banned.
And you're banned.
You can't listen anyway because you're banned, but you know.
Sit on that, you banned dickhead. Right. So let's just get into some Twitter questions that we've had. So, by the way, thank you to everyone who's sent some through. So, first one is from Ryan, everyone's favorite reply merchant. I'm sorry, your name's too long. I can't actually see your Twitter handle, but I've seen you around. You're a top bloke. If a wrestler from one of AEW's partners, DDT, NJPW, CMLL, Stardom, etc., were to hold one or more of AEW's titles, who are your picks? Ooh, it's a tricky one, actually.
Yeah.
I think Takeshita doesn't count as a partner because if it was up to me, he'd hold everything. But
You're right there, Joel.
yeah, I know I shouldn't say that. That's drawing attention to Joel. I'm trying to think now. I think Mystico could definitely hold like a title in AEW. I mean, they've done it, haven't they already? Like Atlantis Junior held the Ring of Honor TV title, and I don't think that's been a bad reign. I mean, granted, it's it's not happened. It hasn't really sort of lived its life yet. But from the match at the pay-per-view that they had, the 6-man, again, quality stuff, and Atlantis Junior can go. So someone in CMLL like Mystico, a big, slightly bigger name, perhaps. Him holding, I don't know, maybe like the TNT title or the international title or something to, take it around Mexico could be seen as a big W, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll say I'm gonna fucking. My wrestling knowledge of them companies isn't the best, so I'm gonna say Gabe Kidd holding the international title. I feel like him going around just doing what he does would be a good advertisement.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout. I would say the CMLL legend, Chris Jericho, holding the For the World title.
I knew that was coming.
Mine is one that's probably going to happen at some point, and it's Vikingo holding the international title. But I think that probably will happen from what people seem to be suggesting, that his contract with Conan is done, and Conan's getting ready to cry.
Just on a thing, did anyone see the AAA show last night or the highlights of it?
I wasn't going to put myself through that, mate. Let's be honest.
I only saw some of the highlights, but fucking hell.
One of the lads in the Discord here had
What
watched it.
what really bad, I take it?
Del Rio's now the world champ, or whatever their world champ is. Satnam Singh and Jinder Mahal are tag champs.
Del Rio was the world champ. He lost to what's his face?
Nemeth, was it?
Yeah, Nemeth.
No, he beat Nemeth with a kick to the dick.
Did he?
Last night?
Sorry, I thought Nemeth had won. Oh, that's even worse.
He beat him with a low blow, and Conan helped him, hitting him with something.
Yeah,
the irony was, I think Nemeth beat. Yeah. The irony was that Nemeth beat Del Rio to win the title, which is kind of it sort of through the whole, because at the time he was also holding a New Japan belt, I'm pretty sure.
Well, JBL with him as well.
Yeah.
JBL was with
it's fucking dreadful stuff. And then you've got what's his name?
Riddle beating Commander as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Riddle Riddle winning the cruiserweight title. What's that all about?
Oh, mate, who knows?
Mark Jindrak showed up as well.
I know, yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
I was waiting for Sean O'Hare to turn up as well at that point.
Mark Jindrak, yeah. Blast from the past.
If Chuck Palumbo comes back, Billy Gunn's already said he wants to work with him, do one more match as Billy and Chuck. Could be good when the Acclaimed finally turn, because it's looking like they're going to turn, especially with Max Caster's rap last night and Billy looking a bit perplexed, but Anthony Bones.
I've been thinking that for about a year though, and they still haven't gone.
They should do it at Wembley. After you've lost the match, if somehow make it there left in the ring and just beat the shit out of Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
It'll get some nuclear heat.
Yeah,
send him back to the Fed.
Beat the shit out of Billy Gunn. Have Chuck come down, cover him over, and have them beat the shit out of Chuck as well. And then that way
what do you reckon? Just I don't want Chuck Palumbo to be one of the many cases I'm expecting. But if he did turn up at Wembley, if the name Chuck Palumbo has burst onto the screen at Wembley and he did a run in, how much of the crowd are going to react to that?
I'd say about 10%.
Most of the crowd.
I'll react to it. I'll be honest, but I'm going to be quite drunk by then, so I'd probably pop for Eva Marie at that point. But
they do the music as well, like the actual you.
Yeah.
I would big time, but most of the crowd will probably think it's Columbo, and they'll be going, "What's going on here? Where's Peter Falk on his way down or something?" Imagine it, is he? What if he's in the casino? Oh my god! Please no, Tony, don't do this, man. Don't do this. Brett's mum.
Please no.
Don't do this to Brett's mum.
Yeah. Go on, Mark. To finish us off, what if wrestler from one of AEW's partners could win one of AEW's belts? Who would you pick?
Very, very. Again, I'm with Dav here. I won't act cleverer than I am on this, so I will say Zack Sabre Jr. winning the international title and then properly taking it around on a world tour, not an ironic tour. I mean, I'm enjoying what MJF's doing, but there's an ironic element to it that of what he's doing. And so Zack Sabre Jr. can take it to New Japan. He can bring it into a rock up of Rev Pro, rock up any other random indie as well. And he just never has a bad match. So yeah, basic, but that's what I'm standing with.
I would pick a trio from CML. And I'd have them as the wild card, to be honest with you. But we'll go into that another time.
Yeah, you never know. Could be, because I can't think of many others, to be honest.
I'm sure that'll be a topic for another time, before Sunday. But yeah, I've got some theories. Obviously depends on who they announce. But
fuck that pump, man! Don't get him away.
Oh right, well, I mean, it's one of them, because obviously of the news about the Lucha Brothers, in the past 2 weeks, and the sort of question mark surrounding Phoenix's future. Part of me thinks, it'd be jokes if they just threw in Death Triangle just for the sake of it, but part of me thinks that they won't. So my gut feeling says we're probably going to get Pac in there in some way, because you can't not have Pac at Wembley. So if he's not in the gauntlet, you throw in Pac with another tag team, and
they are announcing it. Sorry, they're announcing it on Collision, aren't they?
Yeah.
That lowers my expectation. It's not going to be anyone. If they had someone that would be like Hardy's at WrestleMania 33 kind of return or
it was surprise on the day kind of thing. Yeah,
I've got a bad feeling it's going to be Shane Taylor Promotions against
because of a go-go. Yeah,
and it'll probably be Top Flight. And don't get me wrong, I want it, but I want to see Top Flight in there, but they're not going to win. So and someone of that level going in there with the three that are already there just makes me feel like it's pointless. They're just filling out because they're clearly not going to beat any of them, are they? Not going to walk away trios champs. And plus, I'd rather Top Flight just ditched Action Andretti.
You need them
back to singles.
High flyers in there to let the match.
I want them more as tags anyway.
Yeah.
My theory is Top Flight and Andretti or Leo Rush, whichever. I don't know which way they go, but yeah.
It probably,
I mean, if you can't get Death Triangle, like my heart of hearts would want like Pac with Commander and Hologram just to replace them, just to replace the Lucha Brothers essentially. If they're not actually gonna play ball, and actually like do business on the way out. Don't know how much truth there is to that, but yeah, just throw in Pac and Hologram and Commander. I'd love it.
It would be great if it was Death Triangle. It would be really nice if they can.
Amazing, yeah.
Like, they've had a great fucking 5 years there, man. It would be nice if they can go out. Like, even if they don't go on and do any batshit crazy stunts, I don't think Penta probably can anymore. But even if they do, to some extent, just rein it in and just participate for one last time, like they were there from day one. They've been involved in still probably one of the best AEW matches at All Out 2021. It'd be nice if they can go out with it on a positive note, but I don't know. It's interesting. It is a shame it's being announced on Collision because I just think it's you're not going to get
Collision taped as well.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what makes
Wednesday.
That's what.
It's going to be someone.
Yeah, so the US audience, if they don't read the spoilers, won't find out until Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. But it will be leaked, and I think that's why I suspect it will probably be someone we already know, because if it was going to be someone who big, they're not going to want that leaked everywhere. Like if it was going to be the Hurt Syndicate or whatever they call themselves now, plus
they're not going to do that.
Lashley in a ladder match anyway. But if it was, then it could be. So it could be a.
Wouldn't it be MVP as well? I can't imagine MVP in a fucking ladder match either.
No. MVP and Lashley, I think, going up at Bloodsport with Barnett anyway.
I don't want to, but anyway.
No, yeah. When you've seen one Bloodsport pay-per-view, or at least maybe even like 3 Bloodsport matches, you've seen them all. It just it becomes a slog after a while. Like it's like the concept is neat, and you get the odd sort of pretty neat kind of matchup, but then after a while it just becomes very samey.
Yeah.
I'm not too
Lashley or anyone either. Anyway, Lashley, MVP, whoever. I don't give a fuck if they turn up in AEW or not. To be fair,
I'd rather he didn't, to be honest. But just because I think it would just take time away from some of the guys we need to be getting more screen time at the moment. Like
100%.
Sorry, I'm just going to put the worst timeline out there. What if it's Dustin and the Von Erichs?
No,
I
not
think
now he's with Sammy. I don't think anyway.
I think that they could possibly be one of the matches on Collision. Like
it depends who they announce for Collision. It's like pick the best of the bunch on there.
It should, it should be. Are we just going full in on this now? Like,
we may as well.
It should be Cage of Agony. If you're going to go with a team that you've already got there ready to go, Cage of Agony.
Yeah, I agree.
But they can't, because Ishii's in the 0 hour match, isn't he? And he's going to get Statlander's going to hit a finishing move. That's really going to happen. And OC's in the number 1, isn't he?
And Kyle probably will be as well, because they.
And in a Smart Briscoe match, he'll be in that as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. That's the one where you throw all the surprises in. Keeping this one as more of a mystery seems a bit like. It seems a bit counterproductive, because the Casino Golden is when you could do all the surprises and no one really knows who's going to come out next, and there's that surprise factor, which is a big selling point for me. Because but we can talk about that another time. But
so we've gone off on one here a little bit, but let's just go through us all one by one. Who's the first trio that comes to your mind who you realistically think it's going to be? So
realistically, Top Flight and Andretti.
Top Flight and Andretti, or Leo Rush, whichever.
Yeah.
I go Top Flight and Leo Rush, because I think it's a bit harsh on Andretti, but Leo Rush is a better name and a more viable person to put on the all-in card. And I could just see him doing some nut shit in a ladder match as well.
Yeah. Any of them, to be honest.
Don't do the Kingdom. That's so boring. If it's a Kingdom...
Oh, God, yeah. No, I've seen someone boring today. Someone suggested that maybe that's why they lost I'm sorry, but you don't lose the Ring of Honor title. Tag titles, and then go and win the trios and within a few days. It's not going to happen. And in that for the same reason I said about the other guys, I don't want a tag team in there who I'm going to be thinking, they're just there just to pad the numbers out.
Yeah, but most teams, realistically, unless you put, I don't even know who you can realistically put in there now. I don't know. To be fair, Mox, Utah, and Claudio haven't got a match yet.
Yeah, Claudio.
If they're not in the border,
I read the Claudio, because that was what I was thinking, but I read the Claudio is going to Mexico, isn't he, after Wednesday?
He is, but I think his match is on Friday. So crazier things have happened. the dude's going to be in first class.
Oh,
The dude
I'd love that then, because that's one where you realistically think, actually, these could win this.
That's actually a good idea. Like,
They could reboot that faction as well, because it's died a death for the last year. And,
and you could end the show then with Bryan Danielson, hopefully, with the world title, and the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club come out with the trio titles. They just
yeah.
There's worse ideas than that.
That's it.
I'm going to go with Alex Abrahante's random lucha trio.
Fucking please, no. I was in a good mood there until I'm still going with I'm going to offset your negative thoughts, and I'm going to say Cage of Agony still, because it's realistic.
Yeah.
I'd
very realistic.
Brian Cage is great.
Yeah, reliable as hell. So Paul Frank Pitt at Paulie86 on Twitter. This should be a quick one. Worst and best finishers in wrestling today. It's a good one, actually. So best finisher is easy for me because it's the Blue Thunder Bomb. It's my favourite move. And can you tell I'm a Takeshita fan? And the worst one, I think.
Say for the worst.
yeah, there's lots you say for the worst.
We're probably all going to have the same for the worst.
After last Wednesday, it's fresh in our mind.
Yeah. It's the money maker, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's awful.
It's not good.
I don't
She's
like
amazing. I literally have no flaws to her apart from this. I don't really stand anyone. I'm way too old. It's a bit weird for someone who's 38 to stand wrestlers, but as near as I get to it, it's Danielson, Swerve, and Mercedes. I love her. I think her matches are amazing, but the finisher's fucking dog.
Yeah, I think we're pretty universal as the moneymaker.
Yeah, but so it's not even.
It just doesn't work, does it?
No.
It looks awkward, and it looks.
Camille could probably do it well because she can make it look devastating and painful. But someone who's dainty doesn't make it look painful.
No.
I'll go with my favourite finisher. I'm going to go with the One-Winged Angel, Kenny Omega.
Bastard, that was mine. I'm going to come up with another one.
Same.
Mine is the Warrior Splash.
Yep. Understandable.
Yeah. I genuinely don't have one. There's nothing. I don't actually have a finisher that I passionately love, really. So I'm not gonna say something. I don't know. Yeah, I've got nothing.
It's a bit of a oddball one. Like one of my favorite. It's not a finisher. It's a signature move. But I always love the deep six, and I don't like Baron Corbin at all. Honestly, but the deep six is a sick move.
It looks so good. Like the guy, it's weird. The guy had decent presentation. He sometimes had good music. He had End of Days is wicked and Deep Sixes, but he was still so shit. Yeah. Like he took quite a few boxes, and he was still the least. Like after Jinder Mahal, he was the one person that I genuinely hated seeing on TV around 2017.
Yeah,
it was so boring.
100%.
But he had some really he ticked quite a few boxes, but he was just very bland on the whole. But yeah, Deep Six, every time he nailed that. It looked beautiful every time.
Yeah.
To mix it up as well, I'll change my worst one, because I've got to change my best one as well because you've all robbed it. But I'll say my worst one is the Judas Effect. I think it's shit, and you probably wouldn't expect that come from me, but it's fucking rubbish.
Yeah,
it never looks like it connects half the time.
I'm going to take mine back. Actually, my worst finisher. I've never seen it look good. Whatever Mrs. is called, it's just terrible.
What? Miz, you said?
Yeah. Skull Crushing Finale.
Skull Crushing is rubbish.
It's
the same as Jarrett's. Yeah, it's the same as Jarrett's, isn't it?
And being honest, to be fair, Pedigree was a great finisher. I'll give it that. Pedigree was a great finisher. I'll go Pedigree favorite, Skull Crushing Finale my least favorite. I'll leave Mercedes alone.
The Black Arrow probably my favorite there. So
yeah, sound.
My favorite, I'm going to go a bit out there. I'm going to see the House Call from Swerve.
Very good choice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm my worst, which would be really shocking knowing me, is actually Eddie Kingston's Hurricane.
It's not great. It's not great, is it?
It looks like it's
I love Eddie.
It's very like the Judas Effect in the way it never looks like it connects properly. And it just looks a bit shit.
If I was Eddie, I'd stick to the powerbomb he did to Claudio to win the Ring of Honor World Title.
Well, or just change the finisher to the Burning Hammer or something. Just spice it up a bit.
Well, in the same kind of thought there. I much preferred it when Jericho was on his Ring of Honor run after when they were all trying to cover for the shit that Punk had caused, and they all got stuck in, and we ended up having a Jericho Ring of Honor run. And he started using the Lion Tamer again. I thought that was fucking great. And it was so much fucking better than the fucking Judas effect.
Yeah, the Lion Tamer's class. I don't know why he doesn't use it more.
No, it's good. And like it looks good. Whereas the Judas effect sometimes just looks clumsy and looks like it doesn't hit. It's stupid.
Just a dead quick one, inspired by what Dan said. It's not a Twitter question, but just thought of it then. What's everyone's favourite, like, non-finishing move? So for me, it's Kenny Omega's Snapdragon suplex.
Oh, it's a good, signature move. Yeah, I mean, I could say Deep Six because that probably is one of my favorites, but I do also like the is it their finisher, like the TK driver, Meltzer driver, or is that like a signature move? So I do like it.
It's a signature move, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The V trigger for me.
Ooh, I don't know. I need to think.
Sorry, boys, put you on the spot there.
I don't even know if it's Claudio's finisher, but the amount of times when he gives someone a European uppercut when they're in midair, it always just looks brutal.
Have you just watched Collision or something?
I haven't watched it yet. I don't know. I've avoided all spoilers so far. I've not seen any of it.
He hit a fucking great one.
I can imagine, yeah. And I can imagine to tell, well, Rush is going to sell that as well.
Oh, it was great. It was great, man. It felt like he was about 20 foot up in the air when he hit it.
I'm going to say, I really like a Poison Rana. I don't know, I don't care which it. I was really like watching a Poison Rana.
Yeah,
another shout out
Poison Rana.
Yeah. Another shout out. I do like the Panama Sunrise as well. I'll give him that one. It's Canadian Destroyers, I guess, are a bit overused anyway, but the Panama Sunrise is a little bit different, and it always looks sick. Because I'll go for that one as well.
Canadian Destroyers are only overused until someone hits one in NXT, and then it's holy fuck moment.
Oh yeah,
like oh
definitely.
My god, look at this. Especially if
they're only overused in AEW. That's the rules. No, thank you for that, Paul. Love that.
What's just to make it a bit easier? What's stopping us getting into WWE?
Well, I think for me personally, like, I'm not going to lie and say that, like, I was a WWE fan for a very long time, and even despite like the shit that I would see, I still, have this sort of some, interest in what was going on because there was a lot of wrestlers that I liked on the roster, especially when Black and Gold NXT was around. But I think what's really driven me away from it recently is all the lawsuit. To be honest, like I'm not going to get into the whole ins and outs of it because it can be very triggering for some people. But the whole lawsuit has illustrated to me how rotten the company can be and is, and how still a lot of the people who are probably, again, we don't know the outcome yet, probably involved are still employed. So for me, it's a moral thing. I can't, in good faith, support a company that has allowed that to take place under Vince. And it doesn't matter how good a product can be or how interesting it can be, and Triple H is suddenly like God's gift to booking. To me, it doesn't feel right until like some kind of justice has been served for the claimant and for the defendant. I just feel like it's just wrong in many ways. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not judging anybody who can separate that from the art, like the art from the artist kind of thing. But yeah, to me, that's why I just can't get into WWE anymore.
Yeah, same really. With that hanging over it, it's just I can't morally.
Yeah, for me, like, take away all the shady shit. It is what it is. That's part of the reason. But it's just the show. There's so little actual wrestling on the shows. It's just, I just can't get into it. I try to watch pay-per-views, and there's so many fucking adverts and promo packages and videos. It's just, I just want to just wrestle. Fucking just show some wrestling matches.
For me, I like, as I've said before, I stopped watching wrestling probably 2007, something like that, and I had no interest in any of it. I'd caught a bit of WWE and just thought it was shite along the way, until I discovered the little bit of the bubbly promo and was curious as to what that was all about, and kind of went down a rabbit hole and got sucked into AEW. I've tried to watch WWE since, and I've watched a bit of it. I don't not watch any of it. I just don't really. It just doesn't grab me, and I don't know if that is because subconsciously I am being put off by a lot of the shady shit that's going on, or if it's just because it's shit, to me. But it just does nothing for me at all. And at times I'd love, like when WrestleMania's on, with all the WrestleMania hype and everything's going on, I do feel like, am I missing out on something here? Because it just doesn't really hit me as much as it seems to be hitting other people. I did get sucked back in when The Rock was there for a bit, just because it was The Rock and the guys on the level. I couldn't help but watch a lot of the stuff. But aside from that, no, I just have no interest in it at all, and I don't know what it is. But I think, like I was saying to you lads, that tweet from Sam Brown, it was very kind of hit the nail on the head really with a lot of my thoughts in terms of just all this shady shit that they're doing. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and that's on top of a lot of the court case stuff, which obviously is grim as fuck. And it just, I don't know, it kind of repels me away a little bit. It's it kind of makes me pull more for AW because you see the kind of shit that they're doing in terms of trying to stamp out their growth as quick as they can.
On about with that, like them doing the show the same day as the AW pay-per-view.
Yeah, things like that. It's just like, why? What is the need for that? It's not like they're going to take away any of their market share. WWE are hotter than they have been in years right now, with AEW putting on probably the best run of Dynamites they've done in well, you could say ever actually. But
I think it's, from looking at because I kind of like keep weirdly across that stuff. I genuinely think it's 2 more episodes of being like a minimum of good away from being their best run. I think they had a run from Winter Is Coming 2022 to around just before Revolution when they had like 8, maybe 9 or 10 in a row that were genuinely like really fucking good. So for me, it's the second best run of him now, because even during 21 and 2022, they weren't consistently good at all.
But that's what I mean though, and it doesn't affect WWE's business at all because they're hotter than ever right now. So why are they so, petty and bothered about feeding these fake numbers to which we know they do? People will say, "Oh, that's just," it's not, because we know they do. It's actually been proven that they do. People have shown what they get. Things like that, and putting a show on the same day as the pay-per-view in this 20 minutes away. It's just fucking stupid. Why would you do that? Things like loading up NXT to go against them on his depth. Like, I just don't get it. Like, when one's hot, the other one's usually hot. It's not the same audience. It just baffles me why they're so insistent on trying to stamp out any growth AEW might have.
So I watch Raw. I try, obviously I'm very pro AEW, but I try to be slightly balanced with this stuff. But so I'll just keep this short and sweet. I would say my issues with not being a proper WWE fan again are the fact that the company have lawsuits and they seem to be surrounding them all the time. They have done since the 90s and they're there quite now. It's pretty bad. It's the historical treatment of employees there. The releases during COVID, after announcing all those profits, it just stuck a bad taste in the mouth. The ease with which they associate with bigots. They don't have a problem with people like Logan Paul being an absolute cunt on social media and not acknowledging it and carrying on. And they're often associated with people that I would say have the lowest of moral compasses and are just not particularly good people. The god-awful commentary, no matter what anyone says, WWE's commentary is not good. Michael Cole comes out with the occasional gem, but he's not very good on the whole. He doesn't know a lot of move names, which I find really great. And he yells at the wrong times. He gets excited when he doesn't need to. And he is incredibly repetitive. Pat McAfee is the worst person I've ever heard commentate in my life. I don't think Corey Graves is a good play-by-play. I think that Wade Barrett's good. I think Vic Joseph is good. I think Booker T is up there with Pat McAfee as the worst to ever do it. It's the adverts during the TV shows, the constant every 3 to 4 minutes, especially on a Friday on Fox, is why I just couldn't watch that show. Even if WWE was the only show in town and I watched Raw, I could not put up with SmackDown. It is so insufferable with it. Raw's not much better, and that goes on to how they are on pay-per-views. No advert breaks. Yet there still seems to be more fucking commercials than there are actual matches because they're just promoting themselves all through the show, even though people have already fucking paid for your product. It's the lack of actual good matches. Look, I know the funny thing is, as soon as they put on a really good match, which you're going to get occasionally when you put people like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes in the ring, but it's the constant lack of good matches. Then when they do have one good match, suddenly it's the best match in the world. And I'm like, no, it was a good match. There were 3 matches of that level across Dynamite and Collision every week. The fact that it's written for children, like, I get it. It's their main demographic. That's where they make their money from. I have no qualms with that. But I'm an older man who doesn't have any interest in certain storylines that really pander to young people. It's just why I prefer AEW, because it doesn't have that same approach. The classless approach to competition, again, fuck capitalism. WWE defined that. Yes, AEW run by a billionaire. Fuck billionaires. I'm not using AEW as a measuring stick here. I'm talking about WWE specifically, and I don't like the way WWE is run. I don't like the way that they've always decided. As there was a tweet that I quote tweeted that Ibu said, and I could not agree with it more. It was just perfectly written about how they don't mind there being other wrestling companies, just not direct competition, and the way they treat other companies. And again, the Orlando thing, people, oh, well, it's just business. Yeah, it's just business. And they've got every right to do that. At the same time, I've got every right to sit here and say, fuck you. And more than anything, it's WWE's Twitter fans. I can't stand them. I know a lot of them are probably very young. I know that when they've released all these demographics and stuff before, they are putting up the sharpest, a lot of them. I find their fan base insufferable. I know that people do engagement farm. I've probably done it myself a few times to wind people up. But the way WWE fans are on Twitter makes me hate the company more than anything.
So, yeah, as a group, I think we can all agree with Mark's opinion there. We all have the same
monologue. Yeah. It was a monologue.
Yeah, you just put everything that I was mumbling through, trying to get the words to say perfectly there. And probably for the rest of the guys, it was great. That is exactly you said exactly everything you were saying there. I'm just nodding, going, yep, because that was great.
And I want to clarify this. Look, there's some WWE fans that are fucking quality on there. There's so many that I get on with. Like, genuinely, they're nice people. WWE is a lot bigger than AEW, so therefore there's going to be a far bigger fan base on there. You're going to come across annoying people. There's a lot of AEW accounts that I've blocked because I think they're dickheads. They're not very nice people. Granted, and I will, as a counter thing, I would say AEW's got 1 million Twitter followers. I think WWE's got around 13 million. So there's 13 WWE fans for every one AEW. You're therefore going to come across more idiots. But it's not the silly opinions. It's not the disagreements with people. It's just the mannerisms. Again, Dav, you would have got it last week. How many people regurgitated the same shit in your comments when you did the Minutes of Wrestling about touch grass, you're a virgin, mum's basement, all these mind-numbingly basic projecting rants that people go on there. And it's just, whenever it's the other way around, people might be being dickheads, but it's just, there's a different level to how, I don't know if they're bots. There's a good chance they're bots. They're either bots or they're so fucking dumb. I don't know which one it is. It's probably better for them they are bots and being that fucking stupid. But it's just insufferable. And if anyone disagreed, just type into my thing about one of the Minutes of Wrestling, type into my search bar and read the comments and just see how repetitive and draining it was just to read it from 70 or 80 different people every single week saying the same fucking insults. It was so tiring.
It's mad because I can't you see pictures in a lot of these people's Twitter accounts and they're grown men and they'll follow AEW or Tony Khan and then whenever he says it and they'll reply WWE better. And
they'll have the notifications on for Tony Khan as well.
But why would you do that? Like I prefer AEW. Obviously, I don't follow WWE and respond to everything they say with AEW. No. Why would I waste my time? I just don't understand what's going on in these people's lives.
It's an IQ thing. Again, for a lot of these people that would do certain things, certain people I interact with, I can tell from the way they respond to you. I'm like, if you did an IQ test, they'd potentially section you because it's alarmingly low. And I feel that's the case with a lot of people. There's sometimes I stop myself. I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want to go in this person because there might actually be issues there, and I don't want to go at someone, and then it comes back you've gone at someone who's clinically insane or something. And there is. No,
you seen that one today, didn't you? When because instead of arguing with people, I just say, look, you're banned from my tweets.
Yeah, it winds people up. It's good. Yeah.
He started losing the shit, and Dav told some fella he was banned today, and he started getting really angry about it, and he's arguing with him over whether he's banned or not, and it's like, this is not the real world, surely.
You can't ban me.
Was that the guy that I started grammatically correcting?
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Yeah. He took that very literally as well. He took that very literally. He didn't get. Something wasn't right with him.
He took my tweet very little, but I just kept going. And it was like a few tweets in, I was like, he's actually being serious here. And I was like, fucking, what? He thinks I'm actually being serious.
That's why my favourite thing to do now, as you've seen it, is I'll say to someone, "Look, you're banned from a Twitter post from now on." And then when they respond, I just tag the FBI. After that cunt tagged the FBI saying that AEW fans are being mean to him, I just tag the FBI now every time. I say, "Look, this guy's trying to circumvent the ban here. Can you just sort him out?" And they just lose their shit.
I did that earlier, to be fair, and he was going, "The FBI won't have time for me." I was like, "Oh, fuck off, mate."
I'm surprised you're not banned from the FBI, to be honest, Andy.
They're going to ban me soon. The amount of times I've asked them to deal with annoying people who won't respect a ban. But I've got that clip now. That clip of Jericho from the Collision there just saying you're banned. I'm just going to use that every time. It's perfect.
Oh, that's going to boil some piss for me.
Oh, dude,
I feel like, going back to the topic, I feel like a lot of WWE fans have a superiority complex, so they look down on anything that's not WWE, and it just grates on them when you enjoy something that they perceive as less than WWE.
Yeah, the mad thing is, they don't even watch AEW to see whether it's any good or not. They just go on, well, 700,000, not good enough. They don't watch it. They don't watch it to actually see whether they would enjoy it or not.
No,
it's like what I was saying in the chat earlier. Like, people often forget that WWE has had a stranglehold on the industry for a very long time, and you have Vince McMahon to blame for that because he monopolized the whole territories and just took over. Then, WCW gave them a big run for their money, but that's at a time when literally all you had was your TV. You didn't have your phone. You didn't have a laptop really to sort of digest all this content. Now the viewership is obviously is far more dispersed, and literally the only thing that half these fuckers have is ratings and demos. They hold on to ratings as like a key factor in how well a company is doing. And cable TV is dying. It is a dying industry. I don't know how many times I can say this. It is not reflective of how well a company is doing. Like, companies have actually like outwardly said that ratings for a show do not dictate whether they take up them like that promotion or whatever on a new deal or anything like that. It's not a factor. Plus, people also say that what was it, Dav? You were talking about it. It's like, the boxes. AEW can do better. They need better shows, whatever. They're not booking them well or whatever it is. Essentially, you made a very good point about saying how AEW should just mimic WWE and be like them. And your very good point was that it would just turn a lot of the diehards off, like it did last year when they sort of did that route. Especially like when Punk was around, and I said, but people always, would just say that AEW would be copying, and if that happened, it would turn away a lot of those diehards who hate the sports entertainment side of wrestling and alienate those who like it. Yeah,
that's all that happened. They said they were copying instead of going, "Oh, this is good." It was like, "No, you're just copying. It's still bad."
Yeah. So, it's just still lose-lose. Like, AEW get criticised if they're being original, and then they get criticised if they're being too similar. They can't win. And that's what Twitter, that's what the space of Twitter really perpetuates, just this constant echo chamber of negativity towards one and waxing lyrical about how great the other is. It's just not fun.
That's what fucked me off yesterday when I was reading the Sam Brown's tweet there when he was talking about it. About the show and basically saying, look, there's no need for him to be doing this. And the comments underneath are like, oh, well, if AEW is scared of WWE, why don't they just do better? It's like, what? And then you look through the tweets, and you shouldn't look through them actually, because it is fucking, you want to smash your skull in. But it's like, well, they should just do better. It'll make them do better. It'll push them to do better. How are they going to do better? The bottom line is like yeah, they can always do better, but the bottom line is they're never going to get WWE numbers. They're a behemoth. They're never going to get close to their numbers. Their shows right now are so much better than any WWE shows from my point of view. The shows are on fire. Most people are enjoying Dynamite, and the pay-per-views are always off the charts. How are they? How will doing better somehow help them in WWE trying to stamp them down? They can't do better. They're a small company in comparison that are trying to grow.
5 years old.
Do better. Like how are you going? What, they suddenly going to get 1.5 million viewers or something by just doing better? It doesn't.
What they mean by do better is be like WWE. Stop focusing on the in-ring and then be more over the top, theatrical and dramatic. That's what they mean. That's exactly what they mean. Be WWE. When they say be better, they mean be WWE. Last year they tried to be WWE like last summer to some extent, not properly, but Punk's Collision, just basically following the exact same formula every week without change. and then all the stuff with the devil and all that. They tried to be a bit more WWE light as such, and they're still paying the cost for that now. That's the reason they lost 200,000 a week. That's the reason that. I mean, the stadiums that the funny thing is about attendance is I've looked through this in Cage Match, and whenever they went outside the major cities, even in 2021, 2022, they get like 4,000 in them places. Yeah. So it's not like they've suddenly like lost half their audience. Yeah, if they go to Chicago, they might have got 7,000, they'll now get 5.5. And I'm not saying it's good, but it's not like they've gone from 10,000 a week selling out to 2,000, which some people seem to think is the case.
But even if they did just mimic WWE programming though and do WWE, they still wouldn't get a huge jump or suddenly compete with WWE because it's a brand thing. It's a brand that's like 20 times larger than the next one. You can't suddenly just all of a sudden flick a switch and be we'll compete. We're better. They're doing better. The show's been great this year, as we've all said. The pay-per-views knocking out the park every time.
Average fans should not really care this stuff. They just want to go to a show and be entertained, whatever form that takes, whether it is the sort of theatrical entertainment-based show that you're watching in WWE, or it's a more wrestling-based show that you get with AEW. That's as simple as that. The average fan should not be caring about what ratings they're getting, what the demos are, what the attendance figures are. I do not give a shit. I go to a wrestling show to be entertained, right? And whatever that doesn't mean. Also, it doesn't mean that obviously I'm very outspoken about how pro AEW I am. But the fact is, I do not have to pick one or the other. You can enjoy both. It's totally fine. But you can enjoy neither. If you prefer something else, that's fine too. It's really not a case of one or the other. And Twitter the Twitter followers who just sort of perpetuate this fucking shit just really need to grow up and just stop living in this sort of fantasy world.
What these cunts are basically saying, it's the equivalent of someone like, say, Man City going and trying to take all of the players off a championship side. And when the fans say, off Middlesbrough then, and when the fans say, come on, what's this in AEW? They're not even playing him. Or Chelsea would be a better example. They're just stockpiling them, not doing anything. And then Chelsea fans turn around going, we should do better then. That's essentially what it is. Mm-hmm. You're a growing company against a company that has got they've got control of everything. They've got the media in the pocket. They've had a monopoly of wrestling for 40 years. They've killed every other company that's even decided to compete with them. The only companies they like, as you were talking about earlier, companies that will literally say, yeah, go on, you can have whoever we've got that you want, just take. We won't compete with anything for you. And they do better. The do better thing is stupid, man. I just want to put, if someone says to me next week, when I'm sat having a pint, get ready for All In, if someone, well, he should do better. I'm sorry, but you're getting punched in the fucking face.
The one thing I hear is when they say, they need to stop catering to their fans and cater to the casuals. No, then why would anyone do that? You cater to the people that fucking watch the show.
They are catering to the people that love this company, and they're finishing first on cable. So what's the fucking problem? I don't not being rude. Tony Khan enjoys doing this. This new deal is going to make them profitable. Are they going to be majorly profitable? I don't give a fuck. As long as Dynamite's good on a Wednesday, as long as Collision's watchable and I want to watch it on a Saturday, and as long as the pay-per-views are still the best in the industry by a fucking mile, I don't give a fuck about the metrics. I care what's on my screen for 2 to 4 hours a week. That's all I care about. And not caring about that is projection and deflecting, because you know that people are enjoying something more than you're enjoying what you're enjoying, and you don't like that, so you're going to find any way you can to belittle it and bring it down.
100%.
When was the last time we come out of an AEW pay-per-view genuinely disappointed? World's End last year.
World's End at all. I really found the end of the pay-per-view was fine, but the first 2 hours of that, I thought, this is the worst I've seen from AEW on pay-per-view. I thought it was pretty bad.
Was that Samoa Joe beating MJF?
Yeah. The first 2 hours.
It was
the first half of that pay-per-view was shite.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it now. So it had Miro v Andrade, which was a shit match. It had Tony Storm v Rio, which really underwhelmed. It had Swerve v Dustin Rhodes, which was so pointless because Swerve was building up then, and Dustin can't go anymore, so it was a bit embarrassing. It had a bad 8-man tag, and then Julia Hart v Abaddon was an uncomfortable watch. That was really, really bad. Yeah. And then by then I'm only sitting there thinking this isn't good. Hopefully Christian was brilliant. The last
second half picked it up, or the last third or whatever. It did pick it up, but again, as we said before, we judge this by the standards of AEW.
Yeah.
So saying it was bad, if you look back at it, it's probably not as bad as you remember. It's just because the standards we hold, we hold it to based on what we used to.
If a WWE pay-per-view, and I include like literally every WWE pay-per-view, if they had 3 really good matches, that is a great night for them because they don't tend to do great matches. They tend to have a hot crowd now, which they rely on. They tend to have CM Punk interfering in the world title match. I mean, they go through the motions with it. 3 good matches for WWE is spoken about in law terms. That's going on that's being remembered. This had 3 or 4 really good matches, but the one thing it had that most AEW pay-per-views don't do is it had like 3 or 4 actual stinkers on the card.
Yeah.
Like, and AEW, like, even like, say, like the previous Double or Nothing 2023, I didn't think that was very good, but it had an amazing double main event. But the stuff before it just wasn't that good. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. The World's End State pay-per-view stands out for me because it was actively bad, which is very unusual for them.
The only one I really remember
is WWE pay-per-view nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the way that I watch SummerSlam, like I'm staying up till 4 a.m. I want to be entertained. When I sat there and watched WrestleMania Night 2, I was genuinely entertained. The previous year when I watched Night 1, I was genuinely entertained. A few Royal Rumbles, like Royal Rumble 20 just before COVID. I thought that was an amazing pay-per-view, like the best men's Rumble ever, or up there with 91 and 01, I think, or 92 and 01. I want to be entertained when I'm staying up. And at SummerSlam, I finished that show and I thought, that was fine. Like, I enjoyed that. It was good. Am I going to remember it? No. Was maybe Gunter Priest aside, which was, again, would have been a run-of-the-mill AEW pay-per-view match, in being honest, in terms of the quality of the in-ring. This is not a memorable pay-per-view. Reigns' return, which is the big moment, the matches were not memorable. And then, again, everyone comes online and then everyone said it's a 10 out of 10 or it's a 1 out of 10. No, things can just be a 6 or a 7 out of 10. And that is the perfect example of it. But this was coming off of Money in the Bank, which was subjectively, I've got to say, bad. The show in Saudis are never good because the crowd are just flat. Backlash had a hot crowd, but the action just kind of existed. Or it was in France, wasn't it? So they're coming off of a very low bar, I suppose.
I feel like the WWE fans on Twitter, anyway, are overrating pay-per-views to try and keep up with the AEW fans who enjoy the majority of pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It seems that way anyway. And like,
I 100% agree. Again, it's like, again, you put it into football terms because that's where some people come into it. This is the way they become tribal again. Like, for me with wrestling, like, if AEW was actively shit, I would stop watching it. If Arsenal got shit like they did before, I would still support Arsenal. I would still suffer going to the games because that's my religion, whatever. If AEW had a spell where it was really bad for 3 or 4 months, I would simply stop watching it. Like, that's a no-brainer. This is AEW and WWE is Coronation Street and EastEnders. For English people, know that Americans not so much 2 soap operas. Like, if one's good and the other's not, I'm just going to watch the good one because it's a TV show. I want AEW to do well, but again, if they had a WWE 2019, 2020 spell, then I'm not going to sit there up till 3 a.m, having bad night's sleeps all the time to watch something out of some weird, irrational loyalty.
Yeah, it's like it's wrestling. It's not that deep. It's not the same as football or anything like that.
No. It's a TV show that we get weirdly involved with, and
it's just cultivate such a cult-like fan base from both sides. I'm not saying AEW doesn't have it because they do, and
of course it does. Yeah.
No, I think what Mark said before was bang on. It's like it there is a lot more WWE bell ends around, absolute cunts, but it's probably more a reflection of the fact that there's a lot more of them generally. So Lord of Averages would say there is going to be.
Yeah.
I don't watch soaps, so for me, my entertainment comes from AEW. Speaking of soaps, hello out there to Les Battersby. Hope the Les Battersby World Order's going well. Hope you're taking over. And can't wait to see who you're going to fight next, or who you're going to manage next, or whatever the fuck's going on there.
Always an invite on the pod, Les.
Yeah, I've seen you in a pub. I've seen you in a pub there, Bruce. His name's Bruce Jones. That's a character. I've seen you in a pub there today, Bruce. I'd say hello next time. Get you on the pod. We can talk about the Les Battersby World Order and how you're taking over. And your feud with what was his name? Ashley the Butcher or something, was it? Fred Elliott's nephew, wasn't he, or something? Whatever. Anyway,
we can chat about Ken Barlow.
I'm gonna have to
The
get to one of
Americans
them
are fucked off here.
I know I'm gonna have to get to one of them Sub Pro shows at some point and see what's going on.
Yeah, shouts to Sub Pro. We're just gonna cut away to comments from our co-host, that ball bro, who can't be there this week. Can't be here this week, sorry. Congratulations to his brother on getting married.
Congratulations, fella.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We miss you, Brett. Looking forward to seeing you at All In.
Yeah, I'll see you at the weekend.
What's going on, guys? Hope all is good in the hood. For those who may be unaware or you're a first-time listener, the name is Brett, a.k.a. That Bald Bro, a.k.a. the American hero of this podcast, with a short and sweet clip this week, just asking a few questions that I've been desperately looking for the answers to. And here we go. Why do so many wrestling fans choose to be miserable? Why? For the wrestlers and wrestling journalists and personalities that we swear we hate their entire existence, why do we give them more time and energy than our favorites? Like, I hate Goldberg for sending my GOAT, Bret the Hitman Hart, to an early retirement, but you won't ever catch me in any of my socials wasting my time or energy on his name or overrated career. Why do some of us claim we love professional wrestling, but at the same time we pray for the downfall of AEW or Ring of Honor? You can't call yourself a fan if you want less opportunities for the wrestlers to make good money and get exposed to a larger audience. Why are we so obsessed with ratings, demos, and quarterly hours? With all due respect, I feel the majority of wrestling fans who dive into the ratings discourse every day, the majority of them should be more concerned with properly placing the fries in the bag and making sure they're giving back the correct change. That's just my honest opinion. Guys, at the end of the day, this is entertainment at its finest. You know, the fact that we let certain wrestlers or personalities or promotions or booking decisions get us into a state of anger that's uncontrollable and unreasonable and downright scary and concerning. Like, just take a deep breath, relax, go outside, go for a walk, touch some grass, maybe go talk to a woman, you know, maybe talking to a female might help you out. On second thought though, like, a lot of you faceless goofies out here with the wrestler profile pics, like, maybe stay away from them, you know. I don't think they need your energy in their life, you know. That's just my opinion.
I think we're all who's going here? Dav's not going, are you?
I'm not going now.
No, but the rest of us are going, so we'll all be there having a couple of pints, excited, and we'll I'm sure we'll send Dav a load of messages, just pictures make you jealous. Pictures of me with JD. Having pints with me good friend JD.
Is he going?
Is he fuck? I don't know.
No, he said he's not going this year.
Yeah.
I think you get punched if you did go.
Yeah, I think.
I don't even know.
There's chances would.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, it'd be good to look forward to. It's going to be a cracking week. Looking forward to Dynamite and Collision on Wednesday, and I've only got 2 days of work, which is handy, and then I'm off for the rest of the week. So Dynamite and Collision, Cardiff, back on Thursday, and then heading down to London on the Saturday.
Are you going to go to Redfro?
Yeah, I got a ticket, mate.
Nice.
Yeah, got my holiday Tuesday, back Saturday, staying in London, then straight to All In. No rest for the wicked.
Yeah, but I'll put
3 days of work.
The show next year, we're all going together, yeah.
Whatever that materialises as, whether it's All In or whether it's not All In, whether it's something else.
Well, whatever show though, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a live
podcast.
Do a live podcast from the pub.
Yeah. We should do that Redfro show in Doncaster.
Should we go? Yeah, I'm up for that. It looks really good. And I've been to the Dome a few times for 1PW shows back in the day before Stephen Gauntly fucked everyone over. It's a good little venue though.
What date's that on?
October 18th, 19th, the Saturday. It's my birthday weekend, you see, so I think me and Megan are staying in Doncaster for the weekend.
Yeah, I'll probably have to stay as well because of the fucking distance.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a good little venue, though. It's mad when I look back at them 1PW cards and see like who was on it. Some wrestlers who at the time I didn't realise, just who they were or who they would go on to be. Obviously, and they've since gone on to really big things. We've already done Mo's. Mo's got the. I'll do it again. Quite enjoying doing that one. Bubba Ray is a fat cunt. I'm enjoying that one. I might actually finish with that as well. Mo's, you're getting your money's worth here, mate. So what have we got? We've got from our good friend there, Lomax. How do you book Toni Storm after she drops the title?
Give her a 2-month vacation because she smashed it the past year.
Yeah.
She probably could do with some time off before she comes back, to be fair. Come back, freshen it up. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she loses it at All In and then loses a rematch at All Out with a stipulation. And she gets beaten the shit out of, and then she can vanish for like 2-3 months.
Yeah,
that's what I will see. I foresee Mina getting involved somehow, and then that being a factor in how Toni disappears and then comes back.
I think we might get Mina Toni at All Out, depending on what happens. But yeah, that's generally the same as you guys. I think she'll go away for a little bit, come back. Kind of a little bit of a change of character up a little bit, change of moveset because she's obviously taught Mariah everything she knows, and I think she gets the title back eventually. But however long it takes to get there.
Yeah, I think I can see her when she, in terms of booking her when she's hopefully just take some time off because she definitely deserves it. I can see her not being in the title picture immediately, but I can see her definitely, whether Mariah is the champion or not, being involved in some kind of feud down the line, but maybe not immediately. I think immediately she goes into something just to sort of re-establish her and get her back at the forefront of the women's division because she has been, again, like I said, she's been fantastic and she's clearly found her niche. Whether I do hope she sticks with the timeless character because it is great.
Bit out there. I'd maybe have her do stuff with Juice and the Bang Bang Gang. Maybe a few with the House of Black and Julia once Julia returns.
I thought you were going to say something else then, mate, when you said you wanted to do something with Juice, and then I thought you were going to do a fucking get mixed up there. Have RJ looking at you like you're a fucking idiot. The next one, then you can have this one because I had the Bully Ray one or Bull Ray, whatever the fuck he's called. He's a fat cunt anyway. There you go, Mo's another one. So this guy's got 2 questions. His name is, I don't know what the fuck he says.
Cthulhu Christ.
Cthulhu Christ, yeah. He's got I'll go with the second one first. Please make sure Mark Henry gets an extra couple of cunt shout outs. So do you want to just rattle through them, lads?
Yeah. Mark Henry's a cunt.
There you go, that was good. I'm sure we'll give him another couple before the end. But his question is, what are your general thoughts on long-term storytelling versus random matches? I know people need the storylines, but I've always felt that the more story meant more predictable outcomes in 90% of matches. For example, knowing that they were steering towards May versus Storm at All In has meant that the entire Owen tournament was already determined.
Mm-hmm.
I think we touched on this a couple of podcasts ago, actually. But it bears bringing up again is that long-term storytelling is fine. Like, I like it, but not to the extent that Triple H does them because they just last for so fucking long, and it's exhausting. I can't deal with it.
It's all about balance, isn't it? Everything's all about balance. Look, weekly TV, just give me matches. Like, develop storylines. Pay-per-views, I want every match on pay-per-view to have been built towards. I don't like random matches on pay-per-views. And that's what we got All In last year, and that's what I wasn't overly pleased with that. The card, again, you look at the card on paper, there's a lot of big matches, but there's no build to them. It did feel like I was going to a glorified house show, if I'm being honest. It's a balance. It's always about a good balance. And I think personally, over the last, in 2024, I'd say probably since the C2, like AEW had a really, really good balance for what I enjoy. Again, if it's not for everyone, that's cool. For what I enjoy, AEW have ticked the boxes perfectly. So many investable storylines. They've elevated Swerve incredibly. They say they don't make new stars. They've made Tony Storm a star. They've made Mariah May a star. They've made MJF a star. They've made Swerve Strickland a star. They've made Hangman Page a star. And these were not stars before they joined AEW. AEW makes stars within the industry. Yeah, fine. They're not going to be Hulk Hogan or fucking Dwayne Johnson or John Cena. But again, I don't care about that. I care about what I'm watching. AEW make stars. They do tell good stories. They have done brilliantly in 2024. Yeah, bit of both.
Yeah,
pretty spot on with Mark.
A nice mix, yeah.
I find similar to what Mark just said there. I find I like it when it's a good mix, and I can kind of equate it to, you know, when you watch a good TV show that's got a long running story, like The Blacklist is one that I throw out there. I don't know if any of you've seen that, but basically you can watch the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, and you get the ongoing story, but most of the middle is filler just for that episode of the week. I kind of like that. I mean, wrestling, like, you know, a couple of good matches in there just to entertain me for the week, with a bit of story sprinkled in either side, leading obviously to something good in the pay-per-view. But it doesn't have to be 100% story like people. And I think AEW have sometimes been at fault for trying to fit too many stories into an episode.
Yeah. For weekly TV, like yesterday when I was sitting there and I saw Claudia v Leo Rush, that don't mean nothing. But was I excited to see that? Absolutely. Am I going to get off doing this podcast, go and see my wife for the first time today, and then make her sit through 2 hours of Collision because of that match? Absolutely.
It's very good. It's worth. I'm sure she'll enjoy it.
Well, she enjoyed wrestling last weekend, so
I don't know what anyone said there. It sounded like RoboCop had entered the room. The next question was from Punished Bidoof. Hi, mate. Who do you believe Kirsty N1 with all these injuries? Is that the G1 he's talking about?
No, it's the Noah version.
Is it? I haven't been watching any of that, so I don't know. I can't. You lads?
I'll be honest. I don't really watch the N1. Yeah, so I don't really have an answer for that.
Yeah, should we skip that question and answer one that we know?
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
WWE.
Sorry, mate. You can take the piss out of us in the Discord there. So next we go to Suffolk Dave. How we all feel about the build to All In? I know the card coming together a bit. Sorry, I know the card coming together late is a bit of a Tony Khan tradition, but it felt like we've moved away from that a bit over the last few pay-per-views. Although this is just my feeling, I'm not based on any actual research. Do you think there's any matches still to come?
If I actually get the because I've avoided Collision this week, but if we get the card up, how many main card matches have we got?
Is it 8?
We're up to 8 now. No, we've got 9 apparently.
Yeah, because they've had the trios one, haven't they?
Pre-show match.
Yeah. So we've got
right
9.
now.
I reckon
there's
we
9.
Get one. I think we get one surprise match coming off of Dynamite to try and pop a late sale. Whether that's something to do with Hangman. So you've got to look like, I mean, again, these could all be in the Casino Gauntlet, but if we're going to have a debut or two, a return or two, like, I don't know, if you're thinking Okada, Hangman, Moxley, if Jay White is approaching a return, is there something that we can, like, a surprise late match that they can, I don't know, after, I'm not saying it's going to happen, Okada beats Cardio, beats him down after Moxley comes out, Moxley via Okada. I'm not that, but something like that. Are they still going to get Pac onto the card to have a singles match? It wouldn't surprise me if we get one more match that's a bit left field. It would, and I'm all for that.
I think we'll get Dynamite Kid on one of the matches, probably on the pre-show. We've already got one pre-show match at the moment. They'll
shove 2 more matches on the pre-show, but that will just be some random shit announced. Just so that they won't have any bills. Like let's just it could just end up being like, I don't know, Top Flight v Private Party saying, go out there, you've got 10 minutes, just get the crowd hyped up, do a load of fun spots and whatnot.
I think we'll get Dynamite Kid. I don't want to. I don't like, you know, slagging wrestlers too much because it's an hard job. You know what I mean? It's not as if I could go and do it. But I hope we don't get Saraya's brother. He keeps tweeting about it. I hope we don't get him. I hope
that's what we're getting. We're getting this. It might not even get announced. We're going to get a Saraya Open challenge because you're obviously going to lose. You're going to lose the Storm, obviously. So
by DQ.
After,
I think she'll win by DQ because she has to win to get the match, and it's a title match. There's no fucking way she's winning that title, and she's going to be on the show clearly. So I think it's going to be a DQ. I think Mariah's going to fuck her up. She's going to win by DQ. probably run out the ring or something. Maybe a count out or something. You know, she'll win by something stupid like that, and we will get a match on. But who she's against, I haven't got a clue.
What will the story? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if after one of the matches she just storms to the ring and gets to the ring, starts ranting and raving, and says she wants a match, and then Hater comes out and squashes her.
I'd take
it's
that.
It's a good idea that if the reports of not wanting to work with Britt Baker are true anyway, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get it back without having to interact.
It's I suppose that would actually benefit as well the main, the TBS match, because we were all assuming we'd have Hater come back and take on Camille, but you don't really want Camille losing the first match.
No, yeah,
and that would be the only outcome, really. So that's probably a good thing if they do that.
Hater should come back. Just say she comes back, she squashes Saraya. She needs to have like one feud for the next month or so to get back into it, instead of getting inserted straight back into a title picture. And then it's who does she go for? Does she go for Mercedes or Mariah? It feels like Hater Mariah is a mass. I mean, there's so many big women's matches they can have now. There's so many matches that like even stuff like just Willow v Hater, like that could slip onto a one-on-one on a pay-per-view without a title. I wouldn't complain at all now. They've got so many matches now.
Because of the strength of that division, we're forgetting that Willow was hot as anything a month ago, and should really probably be the face of the women's division, because she's just fucking brilliant. You forget about it because we've got that much now. We're spoiled for choice.
Yeah, I think that the feud with Statlander is going to probably, I assume, come to an end at All Out, because they're clearly doing the All In match to get them on the card, and to have like the Stokely get a bit of comeuppance, and then it's like some sort of death match, dog collar match, or Texas death match, or something like that.
Is the stipulation that the winner chooses the match stipulation for the All Out match?
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's the case.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Statlander pins Ishii and chooses dog collar match. That's my prediction.
Yeah, because Stat also has the CMLL women's title, and Stat won the Eliminator match, so they'll do it for the belt, I think, just to draw a bit more attention to CMLL, but it'll be secondary to the actual feud, obviously. But yeah, you're right. In terms of like All In and any matches still to come, like Saraya and Jamie Hayter seems like a logical way to re-establish Hayter and get Saraya on the card. And she can afford to lose this year because she won last year, obviously. As for any other matches, it's a gamble at this point. Hangman and Jarrett, if they're not in the gauntlet again, that is another one that people are talking about. I'd be fine with it if it had like some kind of hardcore like stipulation or something like that. No, that was it really. Those are the only two matches I can really think of. But I think the gauntlet is going to really sort of surprise a lot of people, and that's when we're going to get those returns, those debuts, whatever. And a lot of matches, you could argue, would be spun out of that. Lots of new possible stories to tell. And it's like we talked about it earlier, like the card coming together late. Yeah, it is a bit of a TK tradition. I think it's like we normally see him announce like a good half the card well ahead of time, and then the week of, or like the last week and a half of, the build, we start to see more sort of lesser important matches announced. Right now, it looks like the card's mostly set, because last year we had 9 matches on the main card and we had 2 on the pre-show, but we also had 2 moments, like 2 segments almost. We had like the contract signing between Hobbs and Miro, and we had like Grado and Paul White and everybody beating down Jarrett and crew. So that, you could argue they could be 2 different matches there. So we might even get 2 or 3 more just on the pre-show, just bundled together out of nothing.
I think we get another 2. I think we get 2 on the pre-show. I think one Saraya. I don't think she's on the, unless it's going to be a squash. I don't think she's on the main card. Unless it is Hater.
It's only on the main card if it's Hater.
Yeah. And it's got to be a squash. It can't go longer than a couple of days. And I think we get something involving Billington, because he's just signed, hasn't he? Dax was on that last week. So like literally saying that like the day after WWE were trying to get him to sign. What can we give you? We heard you might be, even though they hadn't looked at him. What can we give you? We heard you might be signing. And but
do you like cheese buckets? Like cheese buds?
I think Dax was filling with tequila money. I think we'll get him. I think we'll get. Unfortunately, I do think we're going to get some appearance from Saraya's brother, whether he's in the casino God, I hope not. And
do you know what? I just want to counter. So the question said about no, it wasn't critical as such, but it said about the build's been a bit late, and I think maybe a couple of matches have been announced late, but this card has been set in stone, or the majority of it's been in place, and they've built to it for 2 months now. I've just found a tweet that I did from the first couple of days in July, me predicting the card. I've put Swerve v Danielson or Hangman, MJF v Ospreay, Mercedes v Britt, Tony Storm v Mariah May, Willow v Statlander with a stipulation. I put Jericho v Taz, I got that wrong, and I put a Casino Gauntlet for the All Out for a title shot All Out. So a lot of this I think was. We could see where it was going, most of it. And it's quite again, I don't like the whole card being announced 2 weeks before, but the final 2 matches or so being a bit left field to try and boost, get a couple more sales through and whatnot. I don't think that's a bad idea whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't been building these, the trios match, that's been on Collision for months, hasn't it? Been feuding for a while.
And the tag title match. We've known it's going to be some cocktail with these 3 teams for the best part of a month now.
Yeah,
as shit as it's going to be, but
yeah. And on that, we've hoped we were going to get some kind of swerve along the way, but we haven't, and we have actually got what we expected to get a month ago.
And the fact that it looks like Motor City, it looks like they've signed for WWE. That potentially threw a spanner in the works. Lucha Bros leaving, that might really change the trios title situation as well. So again, I love the card. The only matches I don't care for are Jericho v Hook, and so the tag title match will still be good. It's still going to be a really good match.
They always turn up at pay-per-views, don't they, AEW? So
the casino. I'm looking forward to the Casino Gauntlet more than anything. I'm proper looking forward, Royal Rumble levels. I'm looking forward to that because I know they're going to stack it.
Yeah, it's a pay-per-view. It's the first pay-per-view. They're going to really load up that match for all the. We could even get 20 people turning up and just going nuts around the stadium or something, just for to replace the Stadium Stampede from last year.
Yeah.
Did you say Darby and Jack Perry?
I think they're going to go.
Is that going to be when Shane turns up on the side of the Elite and does a coffin drop
in the coffin? Just open the coffin and Shane's there.
Fucking hell.
Oh, don't give him ideas.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be a cracking pay-per-view, to be honest.
Mate, it's going to be so good. It's going to be a hell of a week. The amount of matches on that card that have 4.5-star potential. Storm v Mariah May does. MJF v Ospreay does. Perry v Allen definitely does. Mercedes v Britt doesn't because Britt's in it. The Casino Gauntlet definitely does. The 3-way for the tag titles will be a 4-star. Will be a 4-star match. The ladder match. Everyone loves the fucking ladder match. I've never seen one in person. That'll be cool. And
harsh on the Brit one. I think Mercedes. I think more because of Mercedes. I think Mercedes can drag it to a good match. I think Mercedes can get a great match out of it because she is capable of doing that.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
they are friends, in real life. So you would assume, looking at Mercedes videos of her training all the time, you would assume maybe they're trying to put something together. Trying to plan something ahead of time. That would maybe.
I hope so.
I'm maybe I'm just hopeful more than anything else, but I think Mercedes is that good that she can get a good match out of anyone.
Yeah, 100%. We're all going to be. There are going to be some. Some things that we don't necessarily look forward to in any pay-per-view, but then somehow they all end up surprising you. They end up being better than you expected.
And we're going to get it. We're going to get some kind of debut or announcements or something. Whether he announces a TV deal, whether he announces a new sign. He loves an announcement, Tony, doesn't he? And at the end of
I think he'll announce a TV deal. I think he'll announce a TV deal. I think Ricochet will debut in the Casino Gauntlet. I think we'll get one really big return. I think we'll definitely get Moxley coming back, which isn't as big a return, and potentially Jay White as well, because they've not been away for that long. I think this is going to they are going to go big for this. They know they need to. They know that they need to get more eyes on the product, and they know that this is the biggest thing they're going to do all year in terms of generating eyes on them. They're going to go big for this. They're going to go all out for match quality and for high profile moments. They'll go big on this.
I also think at the end he's going to announce the next UK show that he was talking about, whether it's Craven Cottage or not. I think he'll say, "Look, this is when we're coming back, and this is what it's going to be." I don't think whether it's going to be a pay-per-view or not. I'm not sure, but I think he'll announce it just, to prepare people, because there's a lot of disappointment when it was announced that it's Dallas, and I think he'll just gives a little bit of gives a little bit of breadcrumbs there just to kind of keep us waiting.
We'll get Revolution or Dynasty next spring, I reckon.
That'd be cool.
I'd be happy with just another Dynamite and Collision run, to be honest.
I think Dynamite and Collisions are going to be we'll get that every year now. But I think they'll try and bring a pay-per-view to England. They know that they'll, even after 10 years diminishing returns, they're going to get 10, 15,000 in for every pay-per-view in the UK.
Yeah.
Don't do it in Cardiff. Like, if they do it in London, they're guaranteed that. If they go and do it in Birmingham and Manchester, I'd envision the same. Again, I don't know what the demographics are like in terms of where they're popular. And I know it's shit for everyone else, but they know they're going to get big crowds if they do it in London.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, not unlike the old days with WWE, when they used to just give us house shows in the UK, and maybe if you're lucky, you might get a Raw, but most of the time it's house shows. They don't do house shows, so it's going to either be a Dynamite and Collision, or it's going to be a pay-per-view. So it's going to be good regardless, whatever it is.
I reckon it's going to be all free. I reckon we'll get like...
I think every year, it might even be a Dynamite and a Collision 1 week, and then 3 months later a pay-per-view. I think they'll come to the UK twice a year going forwards after this, after All In. There's an audience here for it. Look, the fact that they get, I know it's on ITV, so it's available to everyone, but the fact they get 100,000+ watching 2 days after it's actually happened, and at 11 o'clock on a Friday night, the fact they're still getting 6 figures, there is a real audience for AEW. There'll be a thirst for it. They've got 50,000 for the again, I know it's not 82, 73, whatever you want to fucking say it was. It's still 50,000 wrestling fans in a stadium for a non-WWE event. That is fucking huge. It's mad.
This week's going to be fucking brilliant.
I just want to say, for All In next year, I hope them American fans turn up to that stadium just to prove all these cunts wrong on Twitter. Who were saying, you'll never fill a stadium in the US. Well,
yeah.
That's the thing. They say you won't fill a stadium in the US. It's probably harder for them to fill a stadium in the UK.
Yeah.
Anyone can get to that Dallas show in America. Obviously, it might be a bit of a journey, but anyone can get there. They haven't got to get flights and everything, have they? Travel through different countries.
If they get 30,000, they've done really well next year.
Yeah. And you're on that, by the way. Is anyone else noticing that people still keep throwing out this? Oh, well, they've only been able to get 50,000 this year for All In. They announced fucking not long after they announced the show that it was limited to 54,000 or something because of the Taylor Swift gigs.
Yeah,
it's not. They're only having it for 50 because they know they can't. It's not that they can't sell. They probably couldn't.
I looked at it. I think if they open up everything available to them, I think they can get just under 60 in. And it wouldn't surprise me if they suddenly drop prices dramatically, they'd get another 5. Look, AEW notoriously sell 20% of their. I know it's a bit different in a stadium, but if they drop prices, like when I've got 2 work friends that watch wrestling. Both of them are going, haven't bought their ticket yet. The guy that sits one down from me at Arsenal, he's going to the show, and he's a bit of a rich boy, but he said he's waiting for like the first 2 or 3 rows because they're like 800 quid. He's waiting to find them when they drop on the day. Then he will get them for like 400 quid. People are going to buy them on the day.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's always a buffer for that kind of stuff.
I wish I hadn't bought my ticket, to be honest, because I'm
seeing these
price drops now, and it's just like, what the fuck,
I bought for Cardiff in a blind, wrong me, thinking it would sell out on the day. Yeah, obviously, that was a bad decision by me. And next time they come here for anything, I'm not booking it straight away. I'm waiting a bit and then I'm buying it.
Well, I waited for my All In ticket for that reason because I got fucked over on Cardiff as well. And I don't know why I jumped at Cardiff. I think I just did expect with it being smaller, it'd sell out.
4,000, and you think if they got 50,000 in for fucking pay-per-view, 4,000 of them are going to go over to Wales. But obviously, it's a Wednesday, 6 o'clock start. It's not the most convenient thing in the world for people. And those prices at first were disgusting.
I ended up waiting though for my All In ticket, and I bought one off Twickets. So I got mine for I think it was 120, and it should have been a 210 quid ticket. So in the end, I was made up with that. But now that ticket's even fucking less for the same ticket. You can get it for about fucking 40 quid now.
I'm gonna try and do what I did for Thingy next week. I'm gonna email Ticketmaster and say, I'm poor and I'm going with my son, and you've ripped me off. Give me a better ticket, and see if they do the same like they did in Cardiff.
Yeah.
I hope Ticketmaster don't listen to this. In fact, no, I hope they do because it'd be nice to get the views, and they might give us a nice rating. Yeah. I like Ticketmaster really. They're not a bunch of cunts like Bubba Ray Dudley. And Mark Henry. Mark Henry, you are a fucking horrible cunt.
And on that note, has anybody forgot? Bully Ray, you're also a fucking cunt.
Oh, Can I throw one in? We've just had in the Discord live now. We've had a late question from Lomax. He's already asked one, but he's been on with us, hasn't he? So we'll let him ask another one. If you could bring any wrestler if you could bring back any wrestler in their prime, who would it be, and which promotion would you send them to? Rattle through this one quick, one each.
Angle to AEW.
Eddie
AEW. Eddie Guerrero or AEW, just to mix a little bit.
I would. Mine would probably be Mr. Perfect. AEW. Perfect
v Danielson would be something special.
Eddie Guerrero and Kenny Omega as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good. Fucking hell, that'd be incredible.
Thank you to everyone who's joined the Discord. If you're listening now, the links can be found on the group chat Twitter and all of our individual Twitters.
It's a great place, actually, that Discord, I'll be honest with you. It's a great place to be. If you're not a part of it, I'd recommend it. You actually can have some decent conversations.
I'm going to gradually, like Twitter is crack, I'm going to gradually weed myself off of Twitter and onto there, because Twitter's just a bit horrible, and I'm just going to ease myself off of there, I think, over the next few months, just slowly but surely. One day at a time.
It's the smartest thing. It really is. It's just, you can't just surround yourself with just such negativity all the time. It just does my head in.
Yeah, and I get drawn into it as well. That's the thing. I get way too engrossed in just reacting to people that are just clearly not particularly pleasant or want a reaction themselves. And I give them, I suppose, exactly what they're looking for. So yeah, I'd much rather be somewhere where I can just talk positively about wrestling and ignore the negative air, I suppose.
Yeah, the same. I've gone back this past week to just blocking people because I can't be asked. It's just a waste of fucking time, you know what I mean? The Discord, I've had some great chats in there the last couple of days. Some decent people in there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places that I can comfortably chat, just to sort of info dump about my insane love for Puro, 90s New Japan or 90s All Japan rather, and not be chewed out for what are the ratings and the demos like,
ramifications
you know
for joy. That's what Twitter is. It's ramifications for your joy.
Exactly.
We threw a load of pictures of our pets in there as well, which was nice. Always breaks up the misery asses on Twitter a little bit. Nice picture.
Lots of cute dogs roaming about, wasn't there?
Well,
definitely. There's a whole the gaming chat was popping off earlier this week as well. Actually, I saw.
Are you lot big? All of you lot, are you big gamers?
I'll be honest, mate. Not really for me. Actually, I used to be, but I haven't. Not really anymore. I don't know why. It just sort of fell off the radar for me.
How old are you now?
Oh, don't remind me.
Because I was bad when I was younger. And then bad, but I was really bad. I could sit there just get an 8 to weed, and I could sit there and play FIFA 12 hours a day for days on end, and I was like a pig in shit. And I was like with Football Manager as well, and I was talking to my wife before, because I remember there was one time we were on holiday and I had it on my phone. I was sitting there playing it just so much when we were on holiday, and there was one morning I woke up at 8 a.m. went and sat in the jacuzzi outside our apartment, and I sat in there, and the wife came out 4 hours later, and I just sat there for 4 hours and not paid any attention to anything else, and just sat there. And that day, I logged off, and I've not played a computer game since then, because I get very addicted to things very easily.
Well, I'm 32 to answer your question. So for me, growing up, it was when the 360 came out, and that was, I guess you could say, my favorite console. And I was sort of I was playing just the usuals, like Call of Duty, all the Halos, all the Gears of Wars, and everything like that. And I was really into it. And then I don't know, I went to it just sort of stopped. I think something in me just changed. I guess just sort of. I guess probably it was a case of where it was a bit like wrestling, where nothing really sort of came close to that enjoyment. And though I still like some games now, but on some level, as a kid, you appreciate it more. You sort of just enjoy it for what it is. Whereas, as you get older, you start to sort of microanalyze it like a lot of Twitter users do, evidently.
Yeah, I would the day that Grand Theft Auto comes out, that's it. That's me gone for a couple of months. But that is literally the only game now. That's the only trigger I'm ever going to have again. I can't risk going to football games because it's my kryptonite, and it just eats up too much of my life. If I was terminally on Twitter and playing fucking Football Manager and stuff, then that would be a real problem because I would lose my job, lose my wife, lose my house, I'd lose everything probably.
I play a fair bit, like, but I used it for a lot of, for a long time as just a way to keep in touch with mates, playing online and stuff. Because you don't bring your mates up there, as a fella, you don't just ring someone up and go, "Oh, should we just have a chat?" So instead, you go online, you play a game, you just talk shit for a couple of hours or whatever. But me main weakness is FIFA. I love grinding the fuck out of Ultimate Team, and that's it. I just do that fucking start on my phone, when I'm having a shit or whatever, fucking doing me grinding packs over and over again. Not paying for them. I would advise nobody ever pays for packs because you can always do it for free. It's just a grind, fucking grind loop. But yeah, speaking about a footy manager there, because it is a black hole, and I remember once we were supposed to be going out to a club and a mate came round on a Friday night and we ended up playing footy manager, and we ended up playing it for 3 days and just not going anywhere. And it was mental. But it's a black hole. But on Footy Manager, have you lads ever tried Total Extreme Warfare, the wrestling motion manager game? It's fucking brilliant.
No, but I want to.
Honestly, it's so fucking good, and you can get updated databases with all current wrestlers and that now. So run your own promotion.
Oh, I have seen that.
Out of business.
Seen that.
Fucking great, man.
I'll have to give it a go when I'm next bored at work or something.
You can take over WCW back just before Eric Bischoff fucked everything up and actually changed the course of history.
We've also got an all-in preview coming during the week.
Yeah, we'll probably do that on Thursday after Dynamite, so we know we'll know that we'll spoil Collision for you all. Basically, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, Collision spoilers, but it'll be an all-in preview from the boys. Thanks for joining us as always, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Peace.